Quantum Department of Transportation welcomes you to Convergence Station.
All right, so we are here at the Meow Wolf Denver location. It's called Convergence Station. We were actually here a couple days ago and we didn't get the Q Pass, which is a little card we're gonna have to get once we get inside that gives you access to the portals that helps to reveal the storyline of this place. But this is a major art installation. It is probably one of the most intricate and overly developed art installations I've ever seen. Today what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out the storyline, just a little bit of Convergence Center, and try to get some perspective on some of the art. So let's head inside.
You folks are about to get lost in alien worlds on levels 3, 4, and 5. This baby's going to send you up to 4. We got rid of the map since the accident, so don't be afraid to get lost here, alright? Initiating departures! Beep, 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 boop.
This tram is ready to depart.
That's the noise I would make.
For quantum travel.
Okay, so the elevator lets us off on the first world, which is called C Station. C Station here, which I explored the other day pretty decently, is going to give us a lot of the baseline information that we need to start putting together the story. It's no coincidence that the elevator lets you off here and that you start here. Essentially, the Meow Wolf, the Convergence Center here has 4 worlds. Each world is going to give you a different experience, and essentially there's one world here that's not necessarily part of the convergence of the worlds, which we'll talk more about when we get there. So this is kind of the first thing we kind of want to try to understand, which is about this Forgotten Four and the last stop. So these are the basic fundamental narratives that you're running into in the beginning, which is the Forgotten Four and the last stop. So you kind of need to figure out what the Forgotten Four is and what the last stop is. That'll give you kind of your basic understanding of where you're going with this and what you need to figure out. It's my recommendation after visiting the Cyber Cafe and trying to collect as much information from there as you can, because you can learn baseline narrative there. You can start tapping your Q Pass on whatever stations you find just to start gaining memories, or what they're calling mems. Just walk around and tap as many things as you can. Nothing happens if you sit on all 4 seats. Nothing. We remember you and we help you. So I think that that's really the gig when you get in here. If you really want to figure out the storyline, is kind of try to stay in one place and tap all the kiosks as much as you can, or find all the kiosks as much as you can in the floor. Right now we're on C Station, which is where the elevator leaves you off, and it looks like we've tapped everything here, so we can move on to the next phase of this. This is actually C Street, and this is the entrance to another one of the worlds. But you can see one of the Forgotten Four. This is their missing bus. This is actually the bus that they got taken here on, and you can see it's caught in between the 2 worlds. So one of the things I think we should point out about this room that's the most blaring and relevant to me is that it's primarily made up of a lot of signs, especially street signs. And I kind of think it ties in together to some degree with the instruments that are in this room that are playing themselves. All of the signs are kind of coming together, again, converging together to paint you a picture and a story. That happens when you tap it. This room is pretty obvious that it's speaking on telepathy and our ability to have third eye sight. I also think that the black and white room represents like a washing of the mind. It represents this very black and white. There is no, but then you come in here and it's super colorful, and it represents transcendence. So you're kind of going from the convergence into a kind of a cleansing of your memory, and then into this room, which is very colorful and has a lot of quantum consciousness involved in the art, third eye consciousness. Super cool. We have here in this room, I'm now realizing, is you have 2 things. One, you have a lot of installations of nature, but then you also have a lot of devices that are used as control mechanisms. And so I think that what this room room is representing or telling us is that nature may essentially be controlled to some degree. This room is kind of obvious to some degree. It represents almost like a demonic kind of feeling, darkness and evil. You know, if you notice, the paintings are of a very specific type of species. So I'm assuming that this room is kind of like a room that belongs to a very specific species that exists in this multiverse. This particular species is just a little scary. Really cool. If you look at the book, it says return to the fold because this is the laundry room. The other day when we were here, I actually found the hidden room, which is this right here. This is the Tree of Life in Kabbalah, the 10 Sefirot. So this is the second world. If I'm reading it correctly, it's Meow, and it's the ice world, place that is exposed to a 1,000-year-long ice age. The cathedral that we're seeing here is an attempt to preserve the memory of the civilization before their extinction. There's a handmade pipe organ inside, which we're going to get to. And there's also in this room a hibernating navigator, which you can use to open clues and projections on the ceiling above. From the storyline that I've read and what I've gotten so far, it had 3 sons, one of which disappeared, and so they moved their civilization to a place where they were getting sunlight. But essentially, this was a land or a civilization that was exposed to 1,000 years of ice age. Mind splitter. Dang old mind splitter. This is amazing. Pipe organ that they created here, and one, there's a secret to do with this if you collect the memories, which we already did when we came in here, which is and then you can see it actually has an effect on the lighting. The lights change. Actually, I watched a video on how they made this.
Real crystal?
No, they're casted. Yeah, so they took real crystal clusters, like real pieces of crystal quartz, and they created these casts. So you'll see replications of the same pieces. You see, like look, Max. You see how the yeah, you can see it's the same. So yeah, they're replications of the same quartz cluster. Pretty cool. This is kind of geared towards you being on acid or like LSD or mushrooms.
Gonna give you a meal?
Which, not today. Pizza House Play Zone. The project is designed as a nostalgic tribute to fast food marketing companies in the 1970s through the 1990s. One of the cool little facts that I learned about this room is that the guy who you're seeing on the screen in the advertising that's supposed to be him in the ball pit, and that's his burial ground. Right there, but that's supposed to be his burial ground. Another one of the 4 worlds, which is the ossuary, which is basically an underground civilization. Once a thriving desert planet inhabited by a master mining species called the Yaruk, a massive volcanic eruption led to the collapse of their society. The Yaruk turned to their memory storing crystal, the OSS, to build a new society and preserve their past. It's got a very carnival vibe to it. Are those from pinball machines? 2253. So one of the things that I will drop if you do visit this location is that in the pinball room, you need to figure out a way to get the pinball machines to light up, and then you'll get 4-digit codes that will actually appear here in these little boxes, like right here, and then you can enter them with your Q-Pass in the kiosk. That's it? Nice. So this is the last world that we're hitting. This is Numina. Actually watched the documentary where what it took to build this place was absolutely insane. Numina is considered to be a six-dimensional sentient plant composed of cells that represent timelines and universes. It remains unknown why it is part of the Convergence, as none of the Forgotten Four actually hail from Numina. And I think the general vibe here is that you have like one living organism, one breathing organic organism, and all of the creatures that you see inside of here, all of the sentient organisms that you see inside of here are probably just extensions of the one whole. This room kind of feels like the heart of the place, if I were to interpret it that way. It's actually the only place that has a different color and brightness to it, a vibrance to it, so I'm guessing that this is kind of what you would consider the heart of this room. I could be completely off, but it sure feels like that. You know, it's also interesting that below us, like I said, I felt like it was the heart of this place. And as you come here, this is obviously the head, this is the mouth. You can see it has like a unicorn kind of horn thing going on. It like really looks like and feels like a brain. The sounds that you hear, the ambiances of all the different places and rooms and how they change and manipulate, they're there to invoke feelings, and they're there to make you think in a different direction. I mean, it's an experience of all five senses, and I highly, highly recommend that if you haven't been here and you're coming to Denver, this is definitely a place you need to come, because they literally put you into a movie. They put you into a novel, and you get to uncover it yourself. Congratulations to the people who made this place. You are phenomenal. There was endless amounts of other stuff that we did while we were here and saw. We don't want to reveal a lot of the secrets that we uncovered, some of the end storylines, because if you're going to do it, we don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I hope that if you're coming here, this is going to be a great help and a great guide for you to kind of initially understand what you're getting into. Good luck, and thank you for watching.